Hey there everyone, and welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. On today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the latest news from Evercade. So stick around because it's coming up right after this. Alright everyone, as always, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out today's video. If this happens to be your first time on this channel, be sure to hit that subscription button, click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video, give this one a thumbs up, and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. So yesterday, Evercade had their latest showcase where they showed off a couple of new cartridges coming out over the next couple of months with a bunch of brand new games on it, as well as some new versions of their Super Pocket device for you to play those games on. So first off, we'll take a look at the cartridges they announced, starting with this one. This is Windjammers, Karnov, and Friends. Yes, that is the name of this cartridge. Windjammers, Karnov, and Friends. So this cart is set to have 5 different games on it, and many of these are going to be familiar to a lot of you who were iArcade owners, because I think all of these were available on that system back when it was still a thing. Some of these are really great. Windjammers is a really fun game. Karnov is a pretty good game. It's somewhat of a classic arcade game, although I think a lot of people probably remember it more from its NES cart than they do from the arcade. And then you've got Atomic Runner Chelnov, Roga Armored Force, Vapor Trail Hyper Offense Platform. Some so-so games. You know, not a lot here that's too super exciting, although, like I said, I do think Windjammers and Karnov are probably the two standouts on this particular cart. Now, this one's going to cost about $25 here in the US. It comes out in June, but you can pre-order it today, April 1st. Now, as a matter of fact, just about everything that I'm going to talk about today is set to come out in the June timeframe with pre-orders set for today, except for one exception that I will point out as I go through the rest of this video. Now, the next cartridge announced was this one. This is Gremlin Collection 2, 4 games from the 32-bit era of gaming. I got to admit, I'm not terribly familiar with these 4. Maybe you guys are a lot more familiar with them than I am, but you get Loaded, Reloaded, Hogs of War, and Buggy on this collection. This is going to run $30. Same thing, available in June with pre-orders starting today, April 1st. But of course, one of the biggest things that everyone was anticipating with this showcase is what Evercade had in store for their Neo Geo license that we've known for a little while now that they've acquired the Neo Geo license, and we're going to be putting out most likely games, hopefully some products to go along with it. And the first thing they announced was this Neo Geo Arcade 1, which is set to come out in the July timeframe with pre-orders starting May 1st. Now, this first Neo Geo cart from them is going to have 6 games on it. It's a pretty decent range of different types of Neo Geo games, such as Metal Slug, Shock Troopers, Sengoku, The King of Fighters 2000, Magician Lord, and Ironclad. Now, it's interesting to me that they didn't go with something like a straightforward Metal Slug collection or King of Fighters collection, but I think maybe for their first cart, they just wanted to get something out there that showed off a representation of different types of games and different genres from Neo Geo. But of course, that was not the only thing they announced in relation to their partnership with Neo Geo. They also announced this, a new version of their Hyper Megatech Super Pocket. And you can see here that it's got the Neo Geo branding on it, and this one's going to come with 14 games built in. Now, looking at the built-in games, again, you've got a selection of different types of games, different genres from the Neo Geo era. You've got Alpha Mission 2, Blazing Star, which is a fun game. Fatal Fury Special, King of the Monsters 2, The Next Thing, Last Resort, Metal Slug X, Mutation Nation, Overtop, Samurai Showdown 2, Sengoku 3, Shock Troopers, Second Squad, Soccer Brawl, The Last Blade, and Top Hunter, Roddy and Kathy. Now, in addition, of course, this also is going to play a lot of the Evercade carts as well. So not only can you have these 14 games, but you can throw in the Neo Geo Arcade 1 and have 6 extra games to go with it, again, along with a lot of your other Neo Geo carts. Again, pre-orders go live today for this to drop in the June timeframe. This is going to run you right about $60 US. Of course, keep an eye on Amazon because from time to time, Amazon does tend to put these Super Pockets on sale. So if you don't pick one up right away, you might want to wait for something like that. But wait, that's not all, because they also announced a limited edition version of this Neo Geo Super Pocket. You can see it here with the MVS branding on it. I think this one looks really cool. This is so much cooler than the other one. You've got this red coloring with the white stripes. You've got the button colors on it. This, unfortunately, is limited to 3,000 units. This is going to be, well, 70 pounds. The problem is with this, as of right now, I don't know if this is coming to the US because this is only showing up on the the Fun Stock UK and EU editions of the website. There doesn't seem to be price listings for US dollars. So I don't know. We may not be getting this one here, which would be a shame because I think this is the one that people are going to be a lot more interested in. Even though it's probably going to run about $10 more than the other one, I just think it's pretty cool. And then they also had one other announcement. That's this one here, the Data East edition of their Super Pocket. Again, this is going to run right around the same price, $60, dropping in June, should be available for pre-order today. Of course, just like the other Super Pockets, this will play the Evercade carts, but it's also going to have a bunch of built-in games. 18 on this one. You can see them here. B-Wing, Bad Dudes, Breakthrough, Burger Time, Burnin' Rubber, Chain Reaction, Crude Busters, Gates of Doom, Joe and Mac Return, Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja, Karate Champ, Lock and Chase, Peter Pepper's Ice Cream Factory, Spin Master, Super Burger Time, Edward Randy, sometimes known as Cliffhanger, Tumble Pop, and Wizard Fire Dark Seal 2. Now, one last thing, too, they did announce a refresh of their Evercade VSR and EXPR lines. These are actually going to be somewhat kind of special editions that retailers are going to be able to use to create their own special bundles. They'll be announcing more information for this later on this year. And there you go. That is my look at everything Evercade announced yesterday. I do think there are some highs and lows here. Certainly the highs would be the Neo Geo arcade cart. It's got some really great games on it. That Super Pocket, of course, looks pretty cool too. That limited edition looks amazing. I am just concerned that it doesn't look like maybe it's coming to any US retailer. So if you're here in the US or Canada, you might have to order it directly from the UK. Now, in terms of lows, again, I'm not that familiar with the Gremlin games. Maybe you guys are excited for those. Certainly let me know in the comments below. Windjammer, Karnov, and Friends. Weird name for a cart. Windjammer and Karnov, I think, are fun games. The rest of them, not so much. Again, maybe you're just a collector and you get everything that Evercade comes out and you're going to get it regardless. Again, certainly let me know. But along with that, I think there was one missed opportunity here, and maybe it's something we'll see later on down the line. I was kind of hoping that maybe they'd announce another one of their Evercade Alpha lines and make it look like a, mini Big Red. It would be really cool to have like a countertop Big Red type edition from Neo Geo with a bunch of those games built in and still be able to play your carts, because it would kind of be like an MVS arcade that had the cartridge system in it that you could swap games in and out. Especially if they do something like make the correct arcade button layout on it. Now, that might not work for every game out there because there are games like from Capcom and things like that that might need a 6-button layout. So just putting 4 buttons on it might limit it, unless they do some kind of a 6-button layout and, figure out a way to make it work properly with the Neo Geo layout and still add the extra 2 buttons. I don't know, but maybe that's something that they will still do later on this year. I do think that would be really cool, and I'd love to see something like that from them. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What are you most excited for from Evercade's announcement? Or were you just not excited at all? Were you hoping for something different from them? Let me know. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead, leave me a like, leave me some comments below. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that as well. And if you want to support the channel even further, you could consider getting a membership. But that's all for now. I'll see you on the next one. Take care and happy gaming.